Well, here's an alert just now for you. We have another tornado warning. This is going through Alabama. This is Jackson County, heading towards Scottsboro. This area is still very broad, but we could see a small part of rotation somewhere in there as it gets further past the radar site. We'll be able to have a better look at that. I'm looking at Bill Race right now as he's putting on his mic, and IFB, he is here to join us as well, so I'm not completely overrun with this again. So we've got some tag teaming that we'll end up doing. But for now, it is going to be heading towards the southeast. This is still in some very, very unstable air. We have a severe thunderstorm watch going on for Jackson and DeKalb counties, but now no severe thunderstorm, but we do have a tornado warning going on that was just issued. Now, this is going to be for about 30 minutes as we're going to continue to keep an eye on that. It's going to head off towards the southeast, but everyone else is still going to be seeing that strong storms, and it's going to be happening pretty much all morning long. So we're going to continue to monitor this. Bill Race is heading over to the weather desk.
You can tell him I'm on mic 2, IFB 2.
He's on mic 2, IFB 2 for you guys in the booth. I don't know if you could hear him, but he's on mic 2 and IFB 2. The expiration time on this, I believe, actually, Bill, if we can head off over here, we'll get you a seat so we can cover this together.
Well, that's nice of you.
Yeah, of course.
All right.
Anything
well, thank you. Let me just get to the message about this, and then I'll read it to you. The tornado warning for central Jackson County in northeast Alabama, severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado, was located near Skyline or 9 miles northwest of Scottsboro, moving to the southeast at 30 miles per hour. And Ryan was just kind of pointing that out for you. The main hazard here is the possibility of a tornado. That doesn't mean one's been sighted. That doesn't mean that it's even on radar as a tornado. But what it is saying that the thunderstorm, the severe thunderstorm that's associated with this, and there's Skyline right there in the top center of your screen. And according to the latest advisory here, this storm was 9 miles northwest of Scottsboro near Skyline. So you can see both Scottsboro and Skyline on the map here. One is in the upper center of your screen, and then in Scottsboro, almost in the middle of your screen, just a little to the right. So you can see the difference here as far as, Ryan, I'm not sure exactly what you have, which product you have up. Is this the velocity scan?
It's the velocity scan.
Uh-huh.
Let's get the reflectivity up there.
So let's get that up here, and then we'll take a look. There's a considerable amount of lightning right around the radar site, which is at high top there. And then as we go into the boxed area, we've been searching a little bit for the particular storm that they're indicating. I guess it's in this red area up towards the red line at the top of your screen. So the point here is that if you're in that particular place or anywhere nearby to the east or southeast, you would want to take cover at this time because of the tornado warning being issued. So we have, let's see, this is in effect, by the way. Let's see if I have it ending time.
6:30, I think it said.
Let me see what it says. It is, well, first of all, it says Scottsboro around 6 a.m. It will be there, and Section, Alabama around 6:15. Now that's Central Times, 6 a.m. Central for Scottsboro, 6:15 for Section, and that is kind of more or less the information I have for you right now. And it is until 6:30 Central, 7:30 Eastern Time. So another 30 minutes from now is when we will be having that expiration. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it might not be lifted before that or, canceled or whatever might be. They're going to continue. You see where the lightning is concentrating there? I would say that is pretty close to where the worry is, and that would be again in this almost not dead center of the screen, but a little north there. And so that is why that's one reason why we have this warning up for right now. So let me just point out a couple things here that I see, and might make a little sense if I can get my bearings here. So I'm not sure, I'm not sure you're in a show?
I'm going to show, but this is just the radar that I
Yeah.
threw up here.
Yeah, so I'm looking to put that into a loop.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, I'm just getting my bearings here.
He's just shaking off the sleep.
So to speak. So anyway, right in through here is our area that is of some concern, obviously, and well, not obviously, but I'm pointing it out to you anyway. So between Pleasant Grove, now Pleasant Grove's shouldn't be in the path of this particular storm. But I would say it's right through the area here.
The lightning is really clumping, I have a feeling, is pretty much where I'd expect it to be as well.
Right.
Going through 79, Tupelo kind of area.
I'm looking to see if I could pop up a few more towns here. And so, again, we're just kind of waiting now. And so, the areas that are most have been, see, as close as I get, it still doesn't point out.
Yeah, maybe there's just not a lot of towns in the area.
Well, we have,
That's a shame.
We do have Skyline, and that was where it initially was thought to be close to. And so here's Skyline here, and then off to the south, we see that the storm is continuing to move to the southeast. Did we have a movement on that storm? As far as speed.
We could take a look here real quick.
Here.
We can always just hit that inquiry. So let's take a look.
So it was.
Goodness.
Let's see here what it says.
Missing every time.
It's moving south. Oh yeah, southeast at 30 miles per hour. So it's not exactly
not very quick at all.
Yeah,
to be
not
honest.
very fast. But it is enough to certainly get your attention, and so we're going to be continuing to see that moving off to the east. And here's the tornado warning, Jackson County. So the cities that can be involved in that, as we mentioned already, Scottsboro and Section, and then Pisgah and Hollywood is also within this. Some of these cities here. That again is in effect for 30 more minutes as the storm continues to move to the southeast. 30 miles per hour is the last thing that we have as far as that's concerned. So we are going to. I just am still trying to be able to show you a little more of the cities here, but here's
maybe it's just the way that my radar is. Because it said Pisgah and you can't even see it here.
Yeah.
So maybe there's Hollywood at least.
Yeah, here's Hollywood, here's Scottsboro.
Maybe it's the way that my radar is set up. I'll have to double check with yours.
You're all right. It's all okay. So yeah, that is where we're standing. I'm going to just stop this for a minute like you had it earlier. And then, so really at this point, we're just kind of in a little bit of a waiting game here as this moves through parts of, I guess you would call that central Jackson County. And
Route 79 approaching 35 for reference.
So that is the storm we have right now. I don't see anything that, indicates that they were going to do any changing to that at this point. So we'll just have to be waiting a little bit here to see how this all comes about. But I just want you to know, let me just back off of this a little bit so you might be able to get a little better indication of what we're talking about here. So again, we see Scottsboro there, and then the storm system itself, the storm through the middle part of Jackson County, and of course Jackson County also includes Scottsboro and Stevenson and these areas that may not be so much in the path. You can see the polygon here is headed more to the southeast. And so the next larger city here, Scottsboro, seems to be pretty close to being in the path there. I don't want to say you're directly in the path, but I just did. Yeah. But I think that the path of the storm is going to be something that's pretty close to them by the time we're in the next 15 or 20 minutes, I would say.
Yeah, it's certainly moving and grooving. The whole system in general, of course, is going to be doing. I'm going to take a look at So looking at the velocity, I really don't see anything that would stand out as a massive rotation like we were looking at earlier yesterday. The only places that I could see is kind of right here, but what you can notice and what is just the line itself. This is just such strong wind gusts, and you even have up here those pink areas. Very gusty winds that are going to be coming through here, and it's not a severe thunderstorm warning just quite yet, but I really don't see any broad. This area could potentially be something near Larkinsville, just maybe east of 79 could be something with rotation in it, but it's capable of producing a tornado, and that's the thing that Bill, of course, mentioned earlier, that it doesn't necessarily mean that one has been indicated or that one has been confirmed. It just means it has the potential, so they're covering bases. They're basically doing a preemptive strike, and we want to be able to have this so that way we can see what the potential, where it could be and who could end up getting it. So in this area, stay inside, interior room, make sure that you are away from windows, because you should treat it regardless as a tornado.
Well, that's right. That's what you need to be doing there. I understand we might have, was I being told that we might have a camera we could go to? I hear some thunder outside.
Absolutely, yeah.
But I'm not sure if any of the one cameras might be better. Yeah, let's do that. We'll go to the DoubleTree Hotel. We're going to we have a wide view here, and we can just kind of see, you might be able to start seeing some lightning here before too long as this next line of storms, the initial line comes into Hamilton County now, and areas from north and south from there. So a little bit of lightning there, I think I may have seen, but it is certainly going to get a little more interesting here over the next few minutes. Even though we don't have any warnings for Hamilton County at this point, we don't have any warnings for anyone else except for the tornado warning.
We now just actually got it as your back was turned, a ding, and that ding was a severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Jackson County and then also a lot of DeKalb County. So here's where we're looking right now for this area is actually in a thunderstorm watch, and we did get a lot of storms earlier this morning, which really helped stabilize the atmosphere in Hamilton County and much of Tennessee, but these areas in Alabama and Georgia had nothing, and that's why most of the tornado warnings and severe thunderstorm warnings are going on here rather than in Chattanooga, which did have a severe thunderstorm warning, I believe, around 2 a.m. Earlier, but now we've got this to go on. So if you've got the stuff pulled up, oh, okay, there it is. So here's what we've got. Yeah. So we've got around 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts associated with this. It's moving east at 45 miles an hour, so it's pretty speedy, and doesn't have any hail with it, but I wouldn't be surprised if there is some small pea-sized hail, because we've been having a lot of that so far this morning.
So I'm looking at this, and if you could so we have the severe thunderstorm warning that was just issued is for which county? I didn't see that.
DeKalb and Jackson County.
Okay, DeKalb and Jackson.
So
now,
Alabama.
It is outlined here somewhere?
Yeah.
I just didn't see it.
There it is.
Oh, there it is. So that's a pretty, it's
a very broad area.
It is a broad area, but that's because of that line that's out there to the west. So because we have this line of storms, you can see some of the lightning strikes off to our west as well. West of where the tornado warning is, you have two things that are of major concern here. Now, we continue to watch. If we could just, Ryan, zoom in back into near Scottsboro there, and let's just see if we can kind of, it's really, one thing that's happening here is it's being a little bit altered by the radar site.
Yeah.
It's kind of smearing, I would call it, a little bit of the reflectivity that we're getting back in here. But, I always, in these cases, and as far as for our viewers, I think it's easier to just point out right now where the concentration of the lightning is probably where the strongest part of the storm is.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree with that. Typically, I would say that that's probably where the tornado warning or the thing capable of making one would be. Mm-hmm.
That's what I think too, and so it's still got a little ways to go through that tornado warning. I mean, it hasn't. even made it halfway through the polygon at this point. But we still have the warning in effect for another 20 minutes. And then we'll see if even before that or as we get to the bottom of the hour, whether or not they will let that expire or not. But we still got a little time to figure that one out.
Yep. Yeah, so right now we're just kind of monitoring the southeast, but let's roam up real quick. Most of this storm is kind of weakening. It's becoming less defined, kind of patchier, more so losing its severe edge, especially through the Chattanooga area. So it's really down in Alabama and even Georgia where I think most of our trouble spots are going to end up being. And it's this pretty much all here. Let's draw a circle around it. This whole area here is really where I expect the worst stuff to end up being. I'm sure, Bill, you will agree with that. I mean, that's where the tornadoes have been, the severe storms have been. So that's going to continue to make its way. It's saying east, but it's going to be more going kind of this way. So it could be going through Lafayette, Somerville areas, likely going to end up reaching, I'm sure, Dalton and Calhoun. So that's really the place to look for at least at this point.
Yeah, you know, what you were just pointing out, I think I can step in here. I'm not sure if that's a really great idea or not, but we have these showers and storms. Here is the polygon that we've been, and I call it that because that's what they call it, the Weather Service. But what it is showing the storms, the most severe storm, a little north of Scottsboro, which is to the south of the storms at this point, and that will continue to push to the southeast. So we still got some time here to go. And then to the south of that is the severe thunderstorm warning. But that's not because of this. That's because I feel like they're watching this little line of storms here out to the west that's going to start pushing into those warned counties to the west. So it's kind of a combo here we got going on. And we are going to just have to watch and see how these storms continue to progress, and we'll try to keep you informed and we're going to keep you informed as far as the locations of where these storms are at this point. And then we're also going to, I'm also kind of watchful of the Weather Service bringing us some new information between now and the bottom of the hour, or, you know, and whether or not that will conclude that warning. But they, at this point, I haven't seen anything to indicate that they are going to end this early. Now, we're just starting to get some rain here at the studio, I hear. And so, you know, maybe we could go and take a look at what's happening right around, you know, the rest of the area here. We have this, again, as Ryan was pointing out, this doesn't look quite so dangerous, but we still have some pretty deep red in here, which is the heaviest rain, and that continues to move to the southeast again. Could we put that into an animation and let's just see how that is moving in? And it is kind of an east-southeast movement. The heavier rain now getting into Hamilton County, just about through Hamilton County. Well, that's the entire county now is being affected. Also up as we get over towards Bradley County, we also have those the rain area becoming more common, the light rain right now, but that rain's going to get heavier for you in Bradley County and then continuing back to the southwest. It's very symmetrical here as we go from northeast to the southwest.
Well, they expired the tornado warning.
Okay, so the warning for the tornado warning has been pulled, has been lifted, has been canceled. And so that is no longer in effect. And I was sure that the message would read that the storm indicated is no longer capable of producing a tornado. But I'll tell you this, that you just can't continue to just completely discount the fact that anywhere within this area here, you still have the potential of tornado development. Obviously, we've had a couple of spots that the radar became much more active and much stronger as far as the storms are concerned. Very isolated, these storms, some of these, but that's usually the case in these tornado situations. But really, we still have the severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Jackson and into DeKalb County. And Ryan is letting us, which is good, we can kind of see the whole outline of that. That's a very large warning. That's one of the largest outlines I've ever seen in my life.
It goes all the way well into Alabama. We're just not showing that, but it's a big one.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting shape as well.
Yes. You know, and this is because, again, they have put this out, as Ryan was saying earlier, about like radar indicated a possible tornado. You know, these are trying to get you as much advanced warning as possible. And so that's why these warnings are all the way to Fort Payne and also as we get to Fife. And so it may not be there yet, but these areas of showers and storms are going to be passing through there and already are, with some very heavy rain, substantial downpours, and I'm sure some dangerous lightning as it continues to move to the east and southeast. So that, I'm just going to step out here for a second so I can take a little closer look here.
Rain's really coming down now.
Yeah, the rain has started. If we maybe go back to our storm cam, whenever you wanted to, maybe we can take a look and see what's going on there. We might be able to see a little more of the rainfall.
Oh yeah, go live.
Well, we can certainly go live right outside our studio. There it is. That's the satellite garden on to the right, and where we, what we call this the satellite garden, at least we used to. But you can see our fleet of cars, and it is raining very hard. You saw some lightning in the background there just a second ago. And so this is, we're at Highway 58 and 153 basically, and that's a very steady, heavy rain. I will say that the lightning isn't necessarily continuous, at least in this direction. But that doesn't mean that we still have deteriorating road conditions with the wet roads now starting up. And so this is going to be a time where, you know, really, if you're about to leave the house and you're in Hamilton County or into Bradley or these areas that we were just showing you, you may want to wait just a moment because right now would probably be a pretty slippery time of it. And I was thinking if we had even a TDOT camera at some point, we might pull that up.
Yeah, I was saying all through the morning that you can go late to work today. We are giving you permission to do that. And if your boss doesn't like it, you can take it up with me and Bill.
Yeah,
I'm throwing you in it too, Bill.
I hear you. But we do have the rainfall heavy. I'd call that, you know, moderate to heavy, certainly right outside our station here. And so that is, I think, indicating, you see some of the lightning going on, and I'm sure we'll hear some thunder here before long. But the lightning getting maybe a little bit more continuous. Of course, it could be that the storms that contain most of the lightning are just still approaching. Yeah,
they're most of the lightning is just past Signal Mountain now, heading towards kind of the Woodland Heights, Red Bank area. It's more so near over the mountaintops right now, but it's heading in there. It's coming in. It's approaching downtown as we speak.
All right, we're going to go to our TDOT camera at 24 and Seminole Drive, and this is the example I was giving you as far as the very wet roads and the very, well, you know, this is a big hazard, you know, because, I mean, we're getting probably the heaviest rain that we've had with this so far, and the folks are still making it okay right in this particular rectangle of the world, but it is something that is going to continue to be hazardous here, I would call it, with the very heavy rain, poor visibilities, and because of just the rainfall.
Yeah, we actually did get, I believe it was around 3/10 to about a half inch, maybe a little over half an inch of rain already with the first storm cell we had, and now we've got all this, and behind this is even more rain that's going to get pretty heavy, so there is a possibility of flooding. You cannot rule it out completely. I don't think that we're in a watch right now. The only watch we're in is for severe thunderstorm warnings in Alabama, which obviously we do have that right now going into Fort Payne, and it's approaching as we speak, but you can see that the strongest cell is this one right down here in Scottsboro, and it does seem like, for the most part, the stronger storms are going to be in Alabama and Georgia now, with most of the Tennessee counties just with very loud lightning and a lot of heavy rain. So,
well, you were just saying earlier that, I mean, we were just talking about that storm that's northeast of Scottsboro now. That was the one I'm certain that they were watching for the possibility of a tornado.
Yeah.
And maybe it has lost its characteristics as far, because you were showing the velocity and there wasn't really too much there.
Yeah, but it was close to the radar site, so maybe they were kind of just trying to cover bases as well. But we could take another look at the velocity and see what it looks like.
Yeah, let's just see if we see anything of any difference.
No, nothing that would point out to me, but you can see this. This is some strong gusts. You can see how straight that is, just constant, just beating down, because this is away from the radar. It's just constantly pushing it. So these are very strong winds.
So the deeper the color of red, the stronger the wind.
Basically is the story.
Okay.
And we're likely going to end up having that continue throughout the entirety of this situation as it moves kind of outside of where the severe thunderstorm is. They might end up extending it up there. But honestly, you got to treat these as if they're all severe. And
well, that's
inside.
right. I mean, this is not something that, we just live by the warnings and watches that are issued, but we have to just consider that there's a considerable amount of lightning from southwest to northeast. And now, if you go up towards Hamilton County, Ryan, I was just noticing definitely we got our share of lightning packed together there, right? And I'm trying to see, that is like 153 and
it's looking
75.
Like Riverfront Parkway. It's coming to us.
153 is to the right, and then like you were saying, to the right in the middle now, as you in 27 there, we are seeing that very intense lightning. Those are either lightning strikes or cloud to cloud lightning. So definitely have that going. We could probably return back to some level of regular programming. We don't have the tornado warning now out, but if that occurs again, we will come back on the air.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And so just a little, if the folks my buddies in the back there, just let me know when you're ready to go back. Okay, we're going to just hang in here just for a moment, and I'll just tell you that please take precaution, especially now. I'm just saying from almost 75 west, but from Athens to Cleveland, you're about to get into the heaviest rain. Chattanooga's already in that. And then back to the southwest, Ider, Scottsboro, still in some of this very heavy rain. And I think that we are now going to go back to regular programming. So please stand by.